Hello and welcome back to this Tuesday morning, early afternoon version of David67 Celtic YouTube channel Celtic News. This video is going to be primarily about the young Welsh striker who looks like he is soon to be one of Celtic's early signings in the summer transfer window. Young player called Callum Osmand of Fulham. Also in the video, we're going to have a wee touch on a few wee bits of news regarding other players such as Greg Taylor, Matthias Kvistgaarden, Demir Egi Tiknaz, and one or two other wee stories bubbling under at Celtic at the moment. So, as I said, Celtic appear to be very close to signing a young 19-year-old Welsh centre forward and attacking midfielder called Callum Osmand. He is out of contract with Fulham and will be available for a cross-border compensation fee, very similar to the sort of fee that we lost Daniel Cummings to West Ham earlier this summer. In the video, we're also going to have a wee look at Callum Osmand's stats and also put together a wee compilation of highlights taken from another YouTube channel, Wiki Sports Hub. There's also an interesting little video from Wiki7, also on YouTube. Callum Osmand is, as I said, a 19-year-old player, Welsh under-17 international, playing for Fulham at the moment. 5'10" in height. He has so far only played for Fulham at under-18 and under-21 level. However, he had a very successful season in the, in essence, reserve team version of the English Premier League. Season just finished. His stats for last season in that league, 22 games, 11 goals, 4 assists. So a goal every couple of games is obviously good stats. His under 21 career for Fulham, 38 games, 23 goals, 5 assists, and at the under 18 level, 35 games, 20 goals, 7 assists. So clearly a young man who at under 18, under 21 level has scored an absolute ton of goals for Fulham, and also has had 4 games for under-17 at Wales with 1 goal, although hasn't as yet moved into the under-21 side or full international side. So what I thought we'd do is pop in a few wee highlight clips, fuller versions, as I say, available through Wik7 and Wiki Sports Hub, and a few others on YouTube. After we've had a look at those highlights and goals and assists of Osmand, I'll have my own wee assessment of him as a player, and then a couple of wee other bits of news round up for Taylor and a few others linked coming and going from Celtic in this upcoming summer transfer window. Have to be honest, Osmand wasn't a player that I had heard of before he cropped up in the Celtic news feed in the last few days. However, having had a look at several highlight videos and scouting videos through the internet and YouTube, he does look a very promising young player. I suspect that he could be a very good player for Celtic next season coming off the bench. I think he would fit in as being the number 3 striker, and so clearly we would need to also sign a more experienced striker to go alongside Adam Ida, with Dyson Maida as an option to be a striker as well as his primary role out wide on the left. And so it does look like maybe Callum Osmand is going to take the place of Johnny Kenny. I personally feel that Johnny Kenny might well be best to be loaned out to a lower half Scottish Premiership team like Falkirk or Dundee, St Mirren, etc., to bring his career further forward, as I'm not sure he's going to get enough game time at Celtic to progress his career. Anyway, getting back to Osmand, 5'10", as I was saying, shows an awful lot of great pace, very good striker's instinct in and around the box, scores goals right-footed, left-footed, and with his head, surprisingly good in the air for a player of 5'10", reminiscent of the aerial ability of a Celtic great such as Henrik Larsson, who was of a similar height but scored a remarkable number of headed goals. Very much two-footed, very good with the ball at his feet, able to drive into the box. Actually is good at setting up others. Wasn't fully apparent from the video I took extracts from, but he also drops back very well into midfield to take the ball and then spread out the ball out to the wide players or back to the midfield players. Is able to also play as a striker going in behind, creating space for the midfielders and the wide players to run into as well. And so I do think he would fit in very well to the Celtic way of playing, where Rodgers does tend to like his striker to drop back that bit deeper to get the ball and distribute the ball and create space for others behind. Very good finisher, I think, as well. As I said earlier on, good striker's instincts to get himself in and around the 6-yard box, links up well with his teammates, and does have that flexibility of being able to play as an attacking midfielder. And so he also could be a very useful player if Celtic did go 2 up front later in the game, where we're chasing a point or chasing a win. I think he would work well off of another striker such as Adam Ida, or could even be played as an actual attacking midfielder from time to time if we went for that option. To be fair, it wasn't really the first striker I thought Celtic would be signing this summer, but I think he is going to be a very good purchase for Celtic. I don't think he's going to be our number 1 striker next season. I think he would be the number 3 striker, being primarily a player coming off the bench late in games, or coming off the bench to go 2 up front, or for a change of style, tactic, formation, etc. I think he is, all in all, a better bet than Johnny Kenny at this time for taking up that role at Celtic. I think he could and will get better and better and better. He is apparently a very highly sought after player, but it does appear he's had a medical with Celtic and is keen to come to Celtic rather than other teams. It's a wee bit reminiscent of another player we signed at a similar age and a similar level of experience a few years ago, Moussa Dembele, who was also of roughly that age, that level of experience. We signed him for something around £500,000, and he turned very quickly into a very good goal scorer very quickly into one of our star players within a very short period of time. Do pop your own thoughts regarding Osmand into the comment section, whether you feel this is a good bet to fill that number 3 role as striker at Celtic. Moving on to one or two wee other stories, there are quite contrasting stories regarding Greg Taylor moving to PAOK in Greece. A couple of Celtic sites saying categorically that Taylor has signed for PAOK and it's just a matter of Greg Taylor going over to Greece after his holiday finishes to sign the actual contracts. A number of other Celtic sites and football sites and sports sites saying that the deal for Taylor to go to PAOK is some distance off. There's been delays and snags and problems with the deal. And so it's a wee bit difficult at this time to know just where that deal is going. Although personally, I do think it's highly likely that Taylor is leaving and PAOK seems a very likely venue for that to be. Celtics are still said to be keen to sign Matthias Kvistgaarden in the summer transfer window. However, Lazio in Italy have now moved to the head of the queue to sign Kvistgaarden this summer, and it would appear that Celtic are behind West Ham, Eintracht Frankfurt, and now Lazio in the pecking order for signing Kvistgaarden. Another player Celtic are said to be keen to sign is Damir Tiknaz, player of Besiktas, who has recently been on loan at Rio Ave, and it's thought that Rio Ave in Portugal have a loan deal to buy clause, which they're going to exercise. A couple of sites are saying categorically the Celtic are not going to sign Tiknaz or even inquire about Tiknaz, and a couple of sites are saying that Celtic are deep in negotiations with Besiktas and Rio Ave in Portugal to look at Tiknaz. Did do a video on Tiknaz a couple of days ago, which has proven quite popular, and he does look a very good young player who could fill a couple of different roles for Celtic and could develop into being our number one choice defensive midfielder. More stories linking Celtic with Lennon Miller of Motherwell. I think it's pretty clear Lennon Miller will be leaving Motherwell this summer. Quite a lot of people are suggesting that Celtic would be the best place for Miller to move to. It's thought that Celtic have been making strong inquiries with Motherwell about the purchase of Miller this summer. However, quite a number of ex-Motherwell players who are TV pundits and radio pundits are suggesting that Miller will be looking to move to Italy to further his career. No other strong stories of any players coming to Celtic or leaving Celtic at the moment, although it does look like when the Scottish transfer window opens, we'll have Ross Doohan, Kieran Tierney, and it seems very likely Callum Osmand all lined up to come in on day one. So that just about finishes things off for this Tuesday morning, Tuesday early afternoon video. Do feel free, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, to click that subscriber button. Keep the numbers pushing up and up through the 1200s. Do feel free to click that like button if you like the video or like the channel, and do pop your own thoughts regarding Osmand and the other Celtic issues of the moment into the comment section for a nice, be polite, respectful debate amongst Celtic fans. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.